Namaste dear children, I am Rekha. Welcome to my channel Rekha's Knowledge Hub. Today we will see NCERT Class 6 Maths Chapter 2 Lines and Angles Part 6. Mind the mistake, mend the mistake. A student used a protractor to measure the angles as shown below. In each figure, identify the incorrect usage of the protractor and discuss how the reading could have been made and think how it can be corrected. So, we have given some pictures and there are some incorrect usages of the protractor. We have to tell how the reading could have been made and how it can be corrected. See the first figure. Here, there is an incorrect usage of protractor. And here, angle U is measured as 35 degree. What are the conditions to be satisfied while using a protractor? The baseline of the protractor must align with one of the arms of the angle. That is the first condition. Then the center of the protractor must coincide with the vertex of the angle. These two conditions must be satisfied while using a protractor. Okay. So, the baseline of the protractor must align with one of the arms of the angle. But you see in this figure, what happened? Here, the baseline of the protractor, it doesn't align with one of the arms of the angle. But the center is correct. The center of the protractor, it coincides with the vertex of the angle. But here the problem is the baseline of the protractor is not aligned with an arm of the angle. That is a problem here. So we can see the correct usage here. See, you keep the protractor like this. That is, the center of the protractor must coincide with the vertex of the angle and the baseline of the protractor must align with one of the arms of the angle. So, now the measurement turns. See here now angle U is 60 degree. See angle U is 60 degree. Okay, this is the correct way to use the protractor. See this figure. What is the problem here? Here the baseline of the protractor is not aligned with the arm of the angle. So, the student got angle V as 80 degree, but it is wrong. You have to keep the baseline of the protractor aligned with one of the arms of the angle. So, when you correct it, see, you place protractor like this. The baseline of the protractor must align with one of the arms of the angle and the center of the protractor must coincide with the vertex of the angle. So, in this case, what is the angle here? See, the angle V is 70 degree. See the difference? So, you have to place the protractor in the proper way. Okay. See this figure, what's the problem here? See here, the center of the protractor coincide with one of the arms of the angle. But actually, the center of the protractor must coincide with the vertex of the angle. Also, the baseline of the protractor must align with one of the arms of the angle. So, you have to keep protractor in the proper way. Before using the protractor in the proper way, you got angle W as 70 degree. Now, you keep protractor like this. That is, the baseline of the protractor must align with one of the arms of the angle and also the vertex of the angle coincide with the center of the protractor. So, now we will get reading like this 73 degree. See the next figure. What's the problem here? See here, the center of the protractor doesn't coincide with the vertex of the angle. Also, the measurement is also taken in the wrong way. So, you keep protractor like this. The center of the protractor must coincide with the vertex of the angle And also the base line of the protractor aligns with one of the arms of the angle. See, what's the reading now? Here, angle X is 25 degree. So, you have to take the outermost reading here. See, start from 0 here. 0, 10, 20, 25. Okay. See the next figure. Here, what's the problem? The baseline of the protractor must align with one of the arms of the angle. And the center of the protractor must coincide with the vertex of the angle. Okay. So, here the student got 120 degree. Angle Y is 120 degree. But we have to keep the protractor in the proper way like this. Okay. So, the center of the protractor must coincide with the vertex of the angle, and also the baseline of the protractor must align with one of the arms of the angle. So, here the reading changed. Angle Y equal to 145 degree. Here you have to measure angle from here. Okay, this innermost measurement you have to take. 145 degree. See the next figure. Here the center of the protractor coincides with the vertex of the angle. Also the baseline of the protractor align with one of the arms of the angle. But what's the problem here? See, here the student got 85 degree. Is it correct? No, because the student, he had taken the innermost measurement here. See, 180, 170, 160, 150. See, 140 like this. 100, 90, 80, 85. But this is the wrong way. In here, the student, he has to take the outermost measurement. Should start from 0. 0, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90, 100, 105. So, the actual measurement is 105. Okay. Figure it out. Where are the ankles? Ankles in a clock. The hands of a clock make different angles at different times. At 1 o'clock, the angle between the hands is 30 degree. Why? See the clock? The angle between the hands is 30 degree. Why? This is because in 12 hours, our hand rotates 360 degree. That is one full turn. One full turn is 360 degree. So, in 12 hours, our hand rotates 360 degree. Therefore, in 1 hour, our hand rotates 360 divided by 12. That is 30 degree. That's answer. What will be the angle at 2 o'clock and at 4 o'clock? 6 o'clock. So, you have to find the angle at 2 o'clock, 4 o'clock and 6 o'clock. So, in 12 hours, our hand rotates 360 degree. So, in 1 hour, our hand rotates 360 by 12, that is 30 degree. So, angle at 1 o'clock is 30 degree. So, angle at 2 o'clock is 2 into 30 degree, that is 60 degree. Then angle at 4 o'clock, 4 into 30 degree, that is 120 degree. Then what is angle at 6 o'clock? Angle at 6 o'clock is equal to 6 into 30 degree, that is 180 degree. The angle of a door. Is it possible to express the amount by which a door is opened using an angle? What will be the vertex of the angle and what will be the arms of the angle? So, here an angle. We have to find the angle of a door. Is it possible to express the amount by which the door is opened using an angle? Is it possible? Yes, it is possible to express the amount by which a door is opened using an angle. How? We will see. You can make angle like this. See, we can make angle like this. For this open door, we can make an angle like this. We can name it as PQR. So, the angle is P, Q and R. Then, what will be the vertex of the angle and what will be the arms of the angle? Vertex of the angle PQR is Q. Q is the vertex. Then, the arms of the angle PQR is QP and QR. Okay. Vidya is enjoying her time on the swing. She notices that the greater the angle with which she starts the swinging, the greater is the speed she achieves on her swing. But where is the angle? Are you able to see any angle? So, a girl, she is enjoying her time on the swing. She is swinging. She notices that the greater the angle with which she starts the swinging, the speed will be greater. So, can you find any angle here? Yes, see, you can find an angle like this. An angle between the branch of the tree and the rope of the swing. You can find an angle like this. See, you can mark this angle as PQR. Okay. So, an angle is seen between the swing's rope and the branch of the tree. That is angle PQR. Then, which is the vertex of this angle? Q. Arms of the angle? QP and QR. So, greater the angle with which she starts the swinging, the greater the speed she achieves on her swing. Okay. Here is a toy with slanting slabs attached to its sides. The greater the angles or slopes of the slabs, the faster the balls roll. Can angles be used to describe the slopes of the slabs? What are the arms of each angle? Which arm is visible and which is not? We will see. See the figure. See here, there is a toy with a slanting slabs attached to its sides. So, when the slope of the slab is more, the faster the balls roll. See, we can see this. See this figure. We can see slanting slabs here. See, this is a slanting slab. See next one. See the next slanting slab. This is another slanting slab. Okay. Then, can angles be used to describe the slopes of the slabs? Yes, we can use some angles to describe the slopes of the slabs. See, we can use some invisible arms here. See, these red lines are slanting slabs. They are visible. They are visible arms of the angle. We can make angles like this. See, one arm is visible and the other arm is invisible. That is, it is an imaginary line parallel to the ground. See, we can construct like this. Angles we can construct like this. See, this is one angle. This blue line is an imaginary line. It is parallel to the ground. And the red line is our slanting slab. So, we can make angles like this. See, like this we can construct angles. Okay, we can name it as, see, these are angles. We can name it as PQR. All angles PQR. Okay, all angles are PQR. Okay, so we can make angles to describe the slopes of the slabs. Then the angle is PQR. For all situations, I marked PQR. Then one arm is visible and the other arm is invisible. The slanting slab, that is the red colored arm, that is QR, that is visible arm. Then QP, that is the blue colored arm, it is an invisible arm, that is an imaginary line parallel to the ground. Okay. See here, the answer is yes. Angles can be used to describe the slopes of the slab. Angle PQR. We have constructed angle PQR with vertex Q. Then arms of each angle QP, that is invisible line, imaginary horizontal line parallel to the ground. That is invisible line. Then QR is our slanting slabs. They are visible lines. Visible arm is QR, invisible arm is QP. Okay. Observe the images below where there is an insect and its rotated version. Can angles be used to describe the amount of rotation? How? What will be the arms of the angles and the vertex? Observe the horizontal line touching the insects. See, we have given some images below where there is an insect and its rotated version is given. We have to find whether angles can be used to describe the amount of rotation. Then, how it is possible? What will be the arms of the angle? What is the vertex? These things we have to find. Hint is that we have to observe the horizontal line touching the insects. So, angles can be used to describe the amount of rotation. We will see. See this picture. We can construct angle in this picture. See, we can make angle like this. And I named this angle as PQR. Say this angle is around 90 degree. That is, it is a right angle. So, angle formed is angle PQR and the vertex is Q and the arms are QP and QR. Then, amount of rotation is 90 degree. See the next figure. We can form angle like this. See, we can form an angle like this, angle PQR. See, angle formed is PQR, its vertex is Q. Then, which are the arms of the angle PQR? QP and QR. Then, what's the amount of rotation? It is 90 degree. This angle is around 90 degree. Okay. Children, thanks for watching. If you like this video, please like, share and subscribe. We will see in the next video. Thank you.